Hello, and thank you for serving on this Sunday, February 11th, 2024. I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of what to expect for today's lesson. Today we're going to be doing the Gospel Story Bible lesson number 10, God Gives Abram a New Name. So when you first arrive, you need to be here at 9:30 to go to the check-in room to meet as a team and do your huddle and pray together. And then you're going to move to the classroom. So one person needs to log into the YouTube channel. To do that, turn the TV on, click YouTube, click Lindsay, and you're going to go over to the playlist and click on Oaks. And on there, you're going to find the playlist of the Oak songs. You can just play the songs and then during their center time, and then when it's time to do worship, then you will go to this song on the playlist, House of the Lord. So they're going to do their centers at the tables. It's the same as always. The centers are located on the white bookcase by the front door, so they can play those at the tables. And when it is time to move into the worship area at 10:10, they need to clean them up completely. Anything that's on the floor needs to be picked up and put away. So you're going to do the worship song together. There will be motions and words. And then around 10:20, that is when it is time to split into our different classes. So our 3rd through 5th grade will go upstairs, and our kindergarten through 2nd graders will stay downstairs. The upstairs people will need to take this yellow bag. It's always located on the hooks. It's going to have all of your materials located in it, from your lesson plans to what you need for your craft today, in there and in 2 separate groups, one for boys and one for girls. So once you've separated out into your 2 different groups, the 3rd through 5th graders will walk with the police officer and the 2 adults upstairs into their classroom. You're both going to do your monthly memory verse. Go over the entire verse together multiple times. And then since we're on week 2, you're going to do this part on the paper that is on the wall in your classroom so that we might live through him. Downstairs, you're just adding some words on the blanks. Upstairs, they're writing that whole part. You're only going to write that part this week, but you are going to verbally practice the entire memory verse. Following that, you're going to do the tacos prayer strategy, which each classroom has tacos up on it. Our boys upstairs don't have it on the wall yet because they just finished it today, but it will be up the following week. It looks like this. If you can see the big tacos up there, just remind them what each letter of the acronym stands for: thankfulness, adoration, which we have adoration for God, C for confession, O is for our prayers for others, and S is our prayers for self. Focusing in when you do the C, that is just something for them to have a silent time to pray, that they can think through their sins with God. That is something that is private between them and God, or if they want to share that with a trusted adult like their parent or a teacher, that is something they can do outside of this time. But the other ones, the T, the A, the O, and the S, you can come up with 2 or 3 examples from the kids in the group, and then when you're done with that, pray over all of those things together and pray through the Lord's Prayer, and then move into the lesson. So this week's lesson is lesson 10 in our Gospel Story Bible, God Gives Abram a New Name. So you're going to open your Gospel Story Bible. There's 2 copies downstairs, one for each teacher, and there's multiple copies in the 2 classrooms upstairs so they can be passed out to the kids. They'll have to share 2 to 3 per copy of the book. But if you're downstairs, you're going to just read it out loud to them. If you are upstairs, they are going to read it out loud to you. They can each take a paragraph and kind of go around the circle reading it. So I'm going to open it up here so that you can see what the story looks like. So it is right here on pages 20 and 21. God Gives Abram a New Name. So you're going to read those 2 pages. There are some questions. You can do those questions as well as the ones that are also in here. But before you move into the questions, you're going to look at where it's located in our actual ESV Bible. So they're going to read it out of the Gospel Storybook Bible, and then they're going to look in their ESV Bibles. So at this point, they should get out their Bibles. If they don't have one, there's ones on the cart downstairs or upstairs in one of those fabric bins. There are Bibles in both classrooms. So K through 2 is going to look at the same thing as upstairs. Genesis book chapter 17, verses 1 through 7, and then 15 through 19. If you're downstairs, the teacher is going to read that out loud to the group while they follow along. If you're upstairs, the kids are going to get to read it independently or in partners, and then they can go around and read it and listen to the teacher read it out loud to them. Again, if you're downstairs, the big focus is on helping them learn how to locate books together. Genesis should be relatively easy for them since it's the first book, but just helping them find chapter 17 and verse 1. That's a really good skill that we want to be building with these younger kiddos. So after they found that, then it's time to do the questions together, and then say the memory verse together one last time. and then we move into our activity. It says K through second. It is for all the kids, upstairs and downstairs this week. It's the God Knows My Name craft. So they are going to get a blank coloring sheet. When they get this coloring sheet, they can do multiple things with it. They're going to write their name in the middle of the star, trace the outline, and decorate it with lots of details. Then they can decorate the background of their sheet and make it look like a night sky and color the bubble letters at the top of their sheet. If you are, I'm going to show you an example of it being done. So this is an example that I made for our downstairs kids to look at. Upstairs, they don't need an example. They know how to write their name and decorate it to look like the night sky around it. However, upstairs, your next step is you are going to cut out those stars and leave them there so that I can hang them up on the wall. Downstairs, this can go home with them, but upstairs, they're going to hang them up on the wall. So, and then this is new at 11, we changed it to 11:10 after I printed this. At 11:10, the 3rd through 5th graders will go back downstairs. The police officer will meet you outside at 11:10, and it's time to head down then. You're not going to wait for a text from me. The only caveat to that would be if for some reason service let out before 11:10, then I would text you that you need to come on down now. But we don't anticipate that happening. So when you come downstairs, all the students, kindergarten through 5th grade, need to go to the worship area to watch a video together. They're going to watch a video about Abraham. And you can turn out the lights. That helps them a lot with quieting down. One person needs to kind of lead with getting the kids over there and quiet to sit and watch the video, turn off the lights, turn on the starlight projector. There is a small remote control next to it to turn it on and start the video. Again, you're going to log into YouTube, go to the Lindsay channel, click on playlist, Oaks, and then you'll find the last 2 videos are going to be about Abraham. There's a 14-minute video and a 10-minute video, and turn one of those on, and they're going to sit quietly. Now, if you have students that are still working on their stars that can sit quietly at their table finishing their stars, and you are okay with that, then that you can let them finish up. And then you can also choose a couple of kids that are sitting quietly watching the video that can get up and can help organize our material boxes, which are over there. They can make sure that the markers are correct in the boxes. Every box should have like a pack of markers, basically the 10, the rainbow colors plus pink, black, gray, and brown. And make sure the scissors and pencils are in the correct spots and things. Or you can have them be helpers to the kids that are still wrapping up their craft. But that is the only kids that should be up and moving around, so it is nice and quiet and calm as they are being dismissed. We want to be calling as soon as we see parents walking down the hall so that we know that we aren't going to have a giant line stretching down the hallway. But that is it. I thank you guys so much for serving. You guys are making such a huge impact in these kids' lives, and we are so grateful for you. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime.